Hi guys, it's Aisling back chatting to you again on the Waterstones vlog. So this month I've got a really great pick for you. It's Problems by Jade Sharma. Just ignore the little black bit at the bottom of mine that says it's a proof, because I've had this for ages because I got this at an event that Tramp Press, the publisher of this book, did, and I've been really excited to chat to you about it for quite a while now. So first of all, yeah, it's called Problems by an author called Jade Sharma and published by Tramp Press, which is an Irish publisher who has published books by Sarah Baum and Mike McCormick, who wrote The Solar Bones, which was nominated for all manner of awards last year, and now they're taking a bit of a departure, a bit of a different turn, I think, with this book, which is actually really, really exciting to see. So this book is actually set in America, in New York City, and follows the life of a young woman in her 20s called Maya, who is actually a high-functioning drug addict. Now, I had read, books like Trainspotting and stuff before, where the really kind of visceral and ghastly aspects of drug addiction is really, really precisely laid out for you. But I actually found this helpful in a weird way to even visualize it even more, because it's sort of someone's first-hand account, stream of consciousness, telling you what's happening to them, what's happening to their body, how good they feel when they're on the drugs, how awful they feel when they're in withdrawal. And so it's just really, really interesting if you don't know anything about that or don't know much about that, which I didn't, so I feel a bit more enlightened. But more on the topic of the book. So Maya, the speaker, the main character, the protagonist, she's really, really funny, really, really clever, kind of evil as well, which is quite delicious when you're reading a book, I think, because she's kind of she's very judgmental to people that she meets. She's very sort of all about the way that she looks and the way other people look, and kind of makes comments in her head about what she thinks someone might be like if someone's a loser because they're fat and lonely, even though she thinks she's a loser because she's fat and lonely. But it's really, really interesting when you have a character like that who's kind of contradictory and a little bit of a paradox. But yeah, so I really liked her. And even though she is kind of, people always talk about the unlikable female character, you're still definitely rooting for her by the end, and you're kind of even on her side when she's, doing all these awful things to try and get her fix, her next fix, so she can, move on from her withdrawal and move on with her life. There's lots of very, very funny sequences in it. Her relationship, she's married to a man called Peter at the beginning of the book, but she's also got kind of a lover called Ogden, who is much older than her, and she's kind of got the two of these on the go, but she still feels very ugly and unattractive despite the fact that she has two men. And then that kind of all falls apart, and it's really, really funny, just like her take on relationships and how a character who's so kind of witty and condescending and brash, at least in written words, can then actually be really fragile and tender and lovely and sweet, where she kind of gets a bit let down. And yeah, it's great. I will say as well, like, there's some very graphic and visceral descriptions and imagery, so it's not a book for the faint-hearted, and it's probably not an easy read. Like, I found it easy to read, I flew through it, but it's not an easy read by definition of like classic beach reads, I suppose. But I debated whether I was going to say this in the video, whether it was an easy read or not, but then I thought, who wants an easy read? Who goes into a bookshop and says, I would like the easiest read that you have, please? No, you want something that's going to kind of make you think and tug at you a little bit and say, hey, read this. So you should read this. I just wanted to read you kind of a cool passage from it that I quite liked. So this is quite later on in the book, when a lot of stuff has happened, and this is one of the more, I think, tamer pages of the book, but I'll show it to you now. You will avoid eyes. You will say you're sorry without looking up. Sorry for being late. Sorry for not calling the exterminator. Sorry for all of it. Sit at the bar at Starbucks. When did they start playing Iron and Wine? You came in here to drink a sugary, caffeinated drink and lose yourself in a fluffy magazine, not to have an honest moment of reflection in a generic corporate coffee chain. Cut your nails, buy a belt, brush your hair, sit up straight, change your email address, stop trying to be precocious with references to obscure song lyrics. Change your voicemail message to the preset, show the world that you can be normal for 5 seconds, look at a tree and try not to imagine you're in a movie with a woman looking at a tree. try not to think as you chain smoke, pacing around on the phone, that you might look like a movie star. Tell a joke, fake a smile. Everybody likes it when you tell a joke and fake a smile because they can see you're at least trying, and that's the main thing, to be trying. So I thought that was a really cool passage, because it kind of sums up, I think, where the book is coming from, in that I think most human beings, I could be wrong, think that we're awful, messy, disastrous people, and perhaps some of us are, or perhaps we could be viewed to be that way, and that this book kind of puts all of that out on the table. All of the worst aspects of this character are laid out for the reader to read, and yet you still like her, and you still want to hear more from her, and you still want to hear her thoughts and things. Another thing I will say is I really liked how male and female relationships were portrayed. I should say, like, male female relationships together, just because she mentions a lot, the character, feeling like less than other people because she feels like she's fat, and she's not 25, and she's not all this, or she's not white as well, is a big thing that she mentions a lot. And I think that will resonate with a lot of female readers, and hopefully as well with a lot of male readers, so they can understand maybe where this character is coming from. So I think this book has so much going for it. I really hope people will get behind it, because I myself am actually a really big fan of Tramp Press, and yeah, so I hope you guys pick it up. Problems by Jade Sharma. Okay guys, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.